Summary of the Birthmark by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Aylmer, a skilled scientist, has taken a break from his lab to marry a beautiful woman named Georgiana, but it's thought that his love for her will never be as strong as his love for science. After they got married, Aylmer couldn't stop thinking about the small hand-shaped birthmark on his wife's left cheek. It was the only thing wrong with a woman who was otherwise beautiful. Georgiana's past partners never seemed to mind that she was born with a birthmark, so she hasn't given it much thought either. But now, Aylmer's disgust at the scar makes all of the happy times the couple has together hard to enjoy, and Georgiana starts to fear when he looks at her cheek. Georgiana tells Aylmer one night that he had a dream the night before that he tried to cut the birthmark off her cheek, but it moved into her heart and he had to cut it out of that important organ instead. Georgiana is upset that her husband doesn't like the way she looks, so she suggests that he try to get rid of the scar. Aylmer agrees, eager to test his scientific skills and combine his love of science with his love of Georgiana. The next day, Aylmer takes Georgiana to his lab. As soon as she gets there, she passes out. Aylmer's assistant, Aminadab, appears. He is rough and strong, and he does the lab's hard work. He says that he wouldn't get rid of the scar if it were up to him. When Georgiana wakes up, she is stunned by how beautiful Aylmer has made her room look. He shows her beautiful science feats, but some of them don't work and make their subjects look bad. He then brags that he could do great scientific things, like make life and an elixir that would make the drinker live forever, if he thought it was right to try. But he doesn't. Lastly, Georgiana looks through some of the books in Aylmer's library. These books talk about the work of great scientists from the past as well as Aylmer's own experiments. She knows that her husband hasn't found many of the things he had hoped to find. But this only makes her like him more because he has such high goals. She walks into the lab's inner room and sees Aylmer and Aminadab working hard. She realizes that Aylmer is more worried about the treatment than he has let on. When he sees her in the lab, he gets mad because he thinks she doesn't trust him. She tells him that she will do the trial no matter what, so he should tell her how dangerous it is. He says that he has been giving her treatments without her understanding, but that they haven't helped. Back in the outside room, Aylmer pours a liquid on a sick plant, and it gets better right away. He then tells Georgiana to drink it. She falls asleep, and Aylmer watches over her, kissing the scar at one point. Soon, the mark starts to go away, which makes Aylmer very happy. Georgiana wakes up and tells Aylmer that she is dying because she feels sorry for him. While Aminadab laughs, Georgiana dies, because her only flaw and sign of being human has gone away, making her too perfect to stay on Earth.
About the author. Nathaniel Hawthorne grew up in Salem, Massachusetts. He was the only child of a sea captain who died when Hawthorne was 4 years old. His ancestors were known for being strict Puritans. When Hawthorne was a child, he hurt his leg and had to stay in bed for a year. During that time, he read a lot. He went to Bowdoin College, then worked as an editor and wrote short stories, many of which were included in his book Twice Told Tales, which came out in 1837. In 1841, he joined the utopian transcendentalist community at Brook Farm. He left that community in 1842 to marry Sophia Peabody. They stayed at the Old Manse in Concord, Massachusetts, for 3 years, but then they had to move back to Salem, where Hawthorne worked in the customs house. Next, Hawthorne lived for a short time in Lenox, Massachusetts, where he met Herman Melville and became friends with him. In a remarkable stretch from 1850 to 1860, he wrote The Scarlet Letter, one of the first best-selling novels in the United States, The House of the Seven Gables, which is often thought to be his best work, The Blithedale Romance, his only work written in the first person, and The Marble Faun, a romance set in a made-up version of Italy. In 1864, just a few months before the end of the Civil War, Hawthorne died. His fame in America was so high that some of the most famous writers of the time, like Ralph Waldo Emerson, Oliver Wendell Holmes, Sr., Louisa May Alcott, and Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, carried his coffin at his funeral.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.